Another day, another story. The idea that too much knowledge can lead to sorrow is a concept that has been explored in philosophy, literature, and psychology. It often stems from the belief that increased awareness of the world's complexities, injustices, and suffering can weigh heavily on a person. Here are a few perspectives on this idea. Welcome to Tabo Eminent Channel. Philosophical perspective. The phrase, "ignorance is bliss," suggests that not knowing certain truths can protect people from emotional pain. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 18 in the Bible states, "For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow," implying that greater understanding can expose one to more distressing truths. 2. Psychological perspective. Existential awareness. Knowledge of life's uncertainties, mortality, and the limitations of human control can provoke anxiety or existential dread. Empathy and overwhelm. Being informed about widespread suffering or systemic issues can lead to feelings of helplessness or compassion fatigue. 3. Creative and literary perspective. In literature, figures like Prometheus in Greek mythology, who brought fire, a symbol of knowledge, to humanity, suffered eternal punishment. This symbolizes the burden of bringing enlightenment or confronting truths. 4. Counterarguments. Empowerment through knowledge. While knowledge may bring sorrow, it also empowers individuals to act, find solutions, and improve the world. Adaptation. Over time, people often develop resilience or a deeper sense of purpose from understanding challenging truths. Ultimately, whether knowledge causes sorrow depends on the individual's perspective and ability to integrate and act upon that knowledge. It's less about knowledge itself and more about how one processes and uses it. The sage and the village. In a small, serene village surrounded by mountains and forests, there lived an old sage known for his unmatched wisdom. Villagers often sought his advice for their personal dilemmas, whether about farming, relationships, or matters of the heart. To them, the sage seemed like the happiest man in the world. However, no one knew that he carried a heavy heart. One day, a curious young woman, Mira, approached him with a question. "Master, you have all the knowledge of the world. Why do you often look burdened rather than joyful?" The sage sighed and motioned for her to sit. "My child," he began, "when I was young, like you, I sought knowledge with a fire that could not be quenched. I traveled far and wide, learning from scholars, observing the world, and uncovering truths. But the more I learned, the more I saw the darkness that hides behind beauty." He pointed to the lush forest outside the village. "Look at the trees, they stand tall and serene, their leaves whispering in the wind. But I know that within them, predators lurk, waiting for prey. Beneath the soil, roots compete for survival, choking one another for space and sustenance. What looks peaceful is a battlefield." Mira listened intently, her curiosity piqued. "But master," she asked, "doesn't that knowledge make the forest even more fascinating? To know that there is so much life, struggle, and balance?" The sage smiled faintly. "You're right, but knowing also brings responsibility. Once you understand the suffering of others, you can no longer turn away. I know of droughts that plague villages far away, wars that destroy lives, and injustices that rob people of their dignity. My heart aches for things I cannot change. And yet, I must carry on, for knowledge alone is not the end, it is what we do with it that matters." Mira nodded, pondering his words. "Then what keeps you from despair, master?" The sage looked at her kindly. "Hope, my dear, hope and action. For every truth that saddens me, I have found others that inspire me. The mother bird who feeds her chicks even in the storm. The stranger who gives bread to the hungry. The villagers who come to me seeking answers because they believe wisdom can help them. Knowledge may bring sorrow, but it also brings the light of understanding, compassion, and purpose." Mira left the sage that day, her mind buzzing with thoughts. Over the years, she too sought knowledge, and with it came her own share of sorrow. But she remembered the sage's words and let her understanding guide her to acts of kindness and courage. The traveler's gift and curse. Once, in a distant land, there lived a humble traveler named Elias. He was known for his insatiable curiosity, always wandering from one village to the next, seeking to learn everything the world had to offer. One evening, as he rested by a shimmering lake, a mysterious figure appeared. a radiant being with eyes that seemed to hold the entire universe. The being spoke, "You seek knowledge, Elias. I can grant you the ability to see the truth behind all things. But beware. This gift comes with a heavy burden. Elias, eager to uncover the mysteries of life, accepted without hesitation." The being touched his forehead, and a flood of insight surged through him. Suddenly, he could see the hidden threads of reality, the emotions people hid, the lies they told, the struggles they endured. The next day, Elias returned to a nearby village. He saw a merchant smiling warmly at his customers, but through his newfound vision, Elias perceived the merchant's crippling debt and the worry etched into his soul. A farmer boasted about a bountiful harvest, yet Elias glimpsed the withering crops hidden behind the barn. Even a child's laughter carried the faint echo of loneliness. Everywhere Elias went, the truth pierced him like 1,000 arrows. He could no longer enjoy the simple beauty of the world because he saw the pain and deception lurking beneath it. He withdrew from the villages and wandered into the wilderness, burdened by the knowledge he had once craved. Years passed, and Elias became a recluse, living alone in a mountain cave. One day, he noticed a small bird with a broken wing struggling to fly. He watched it for days, expecting it to succumb to its injury. But to his amazement, the bird adapted, hopping from branch to branch, still singing its song. Inspired, Elias decided to return to the world. When he ventured back to the villages, his perspective had shifted. He still saw the sorrow and struggles of others, but now he also saw resilience, kindness, and love. He noticed the merchant quietly feeding hungry travelers despite his own struggles. The farmer, though facing hardships, shared his dwindling harvest with neighbors. The lonely child found joy in the companionship of a stray dog. Elias began to use his knowledge to help others. He guided the merchant to renegotiate his debts, taught the farmer new ways to nourish his soil, and became a mentor to the lonely child. The burden of truth remained heavy, but Elias found solace in using his insights to bring light to others' lives. One day, the radiant being returned. "You have borne the weight of truth well, Elias. Do you wish to relinquish your gift?" Elias thought for a moment and shook his head. "No. The sorrow it brought me was a fire that burned away my illusions, but it also revealed the strength of the human spirit. I would rather carry the weight of knowledge and use it to help others than live in ignorance." The being smiled and vanished, leaving Elias with a heart heavy with truth but lightened by purpose. Moral: knowledge often reveals the hidden struggles of the world, which can lead to sorrow. However, it also gives us the tools to create change, inspire hope, and find meaning amidst life's complexities. Knowledge can expose us to the harsh realities of the world, leading to sorrow. Yet, it also offers the opportunity to grow, to act with compassion, and to find meaning in alleviating the struggles of others. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.